G'day and welcome back to RC Model Reviews. On the bench today, it's the Cyclops video visor from Quanum, if you hadn't figured that out from the obvious clues. Now this is another video visor from HobbyKing, and first of all I thought, what? They've already given us two video visors, and certainly the version 2 works very nicely, thank you. Why do we need another one? And they've said, well, it's actually not there to replace the version 2, it's there to sort of a slightly different market, different spin on the market, so it has some strengths and weaknesses, and after using it I have to agree it has some strengths and it has some weaknesses. It does some things really well and at other things it's really crap, so we'll look at that a little bit later, but first of all let's take a little bit of a tour around the goggles and see what all the bells and whistles do. Starting here you can see it's got one of the slidey things that you have for adjusting your lens, because just like all the other video goggles, if we look inside you see that moves the Fresnel lens backwards and forwards to adjust the focal point. Now having said that, just like the version 2, I find it could go back further. I get this right back here and my eyes are still just not quite comfortable with the focal length. If it came back to there I'd be chuffed to bits, but it doesn't. So I don't know, maybe it's just my old tired eyes don't work that well. I'm sure young eyes will have no problems with this, and if you need to you can wear corrective lenses, glasses, you know, your adjustable glasses, your prescription glasses, because there's enough room in there to get your glasses on. I found it wasn't quite as easy to get the goggles off as the version 2s if I'm wearing my glasses, but you know, it's fine. It certainly means that if you are someone who wears prescription eyewear, this might be a cheapest or the best option for you. Now also we've got some buttons on here. Look, we've got plus, minus and menu, and if you don't know what they do, well, don't bother referring to the manual because it doesn't tell you. The manual is actually just a list. It's more or less just a picture with, you know, it tells you the same stuff that's on the visor, so that could be improved. But having said that, this is such an easy product to use, it doesn't really need a manual anyway. The menu button pops up an on-screen menu. You can use these to go uppers and downs. It just gives you brightness, contrast. Choose between the 16:9 widescreen format and the 4:3 regular format. Just some basic stuff. It doesn't give you access to things like battery alarm. There is no battery alarm on this, so if you're using this, it's your job to make sure that you keep an eye on your battery voltage. But it will work right down to 5.8 volts. Maximum voltage, they say, is 12.6, fully charged 3-cell LiPo, but it'll go right down to 5.8, which is pretty damn good. Now there's a button here. This is the scan button, the auto scan button. And as I said, this does some things really well and other things really poorly. The auto scan button is one of the things that I don't like, but as I say, I will cover that in a moment. Moving on, we have this here now. These aren't stickers, unfortunately, because if this was mine, I'd actually peel that off and put some googly eyes on there. Everyone loves googly eyes on video glasses. Let's face it, honestly, confess. You'd love to have googly eyes on your video visor, wouldn't you? But no, I'm sure people will put transfers and stickers on anyway. On the other side, there's just that other slidey thing for the lens, and that's it. That's all you get. There's no other plug sockets, and which is actually another downside. It doesn't have an AV connector, so I don't know how to get in here. I had a bit of a try before. Couldn't get this little door open. I don't know if it comes off, but it just doesn't want to. And there's no mention in the manual, so we'll assume that's not there. But yeah, there is no AV input, so you can't plug it into another set of, or another video receiver. So what you see is what you get. If you don't like the way the scan button works, and I don't, then tough cheese. You're just stuck with what you've got. Having said that, of course, it makes it very simple, very easy. There's nothing to need to learn to use. Just stick it on your head, plug the battery in, push this button, and the strongest channel will appear on your screen, as if by magic. Now, it comes with one of these antennas, of course, which I've learned. These are really handy because what you do is you put it like that. You stand beside someone and you can poke them in the ear with this. You know, this can go in their ear. That's a valuable piece of information. In a race, nothing puts you off more than having one of these antennas thrust into your ear. So if you're racing mini quads, that could be a bonus to you. Apart from that, has straps. These are elasticated. See? That means they stretch. My concern is that they're black in the sunlight in a not too long period of time. Just as I said with the Walkera Goggle 3, these are going to break down and they're going to do that, but they're not going to do that anymore. And they're going to get loose on your head and therefore it becomes a pain in the backside. It says in the manual these are adjustable, but the amount of adjustment is absolutely minimal. Look, see, the Velcro only goes from that's the little patch of Velcro there, and that's the bit it goes on. So you've only got like from there to there. I'll do this from the top so you can see. Just look at that quickly again. You can go from there to there. It's only like about, I don't know, what's that, 10 millimeters of adjustment? It's nothing. It's not really adjustable. It's not adjustable at all. There's not enough Velcro on the strap. So my concern is that when these start to get a bit weak, you're not going to be able to tighten this up enough. You have to put a bulldog clip on here and a bulldog clip on there just to get it to stay on your head. maybe they'll sell spare straps, you know, but I mean, I would have liked something a little more, bit of a long-term view at the durability of the product when they designed that bit. Now, battery pouch on the back here, as you can see, I can put my finger in there and that's a tight fit. That's a tight fit for my finger. So what the hell size battery are you going to put in there? And of course, remember, you don't want your battery going flat because then the world goes dark and you crash your plane. Speaking of this though, I'm going to show you what they give you in the way of battery connectors. Here we go, look at this. You get 2 battery connectors because the actual power connection is a barrel connector. So they give you an XT60, so you can plug in your favorite XT60 battery, and a PP9 connector. PP9, these are these things that fit on your little alkaline batteries like that, see? But whoa, when I plugged this one in and measured the current drain, it was about half an amp, almost half an amp. These batteries don't really like high current consumption continuously, so this battery is probably going to last you less than half an hour. And around here they cost between $6 and $10 a pop. That could be up to $20 an hour to run your video glasses on these batteries. And you'll notice this pouch was obviously designed for that battery. It's a perfect snug fit for that battery. But let's be honest, everyone's got old 3S lipos laying around that they'd love to use for their video glasses. There ain't no way that sucker's fitting in there. What a shame. I mean, at least they could have done is put some Velcro on the back, so I could have stuck it on the back, but nah. So in that respect, I'd have to wonder what they were smoking when they came up with a battery pouch this size. It is ridiculous. And also, this, no one is going to use that. Why didn't you give us a JST? Because there's a lot of small batteries that would fit in there, you know, 800 milliamps or something, which come with a JST connector. Not many come with a great big hulking XT60 on them, but they do have a JST. So why didn't that have a JST on it? I should probably cut this one, put a JST on it, because I'm never going to use the 9-volt battery. One of the things that I have to say regularly is when I review products, it's like the design people, the people who design these products, never actually consult with anyone outside their little office. And so they don't get the feedback they need to develop a product that's going to meet the demands of the market as well as it could. And a further example of that is this evil scan button. Ooh, let me talk about that for a moment. I had hoped that this would come with the auto scan receiver, that the very nice little auto scan receiver HobbyKing make and I've reviewed previously. And maybe it does, but they only have one button on here for changing channels. And that means one of the key uses of this that I would put it to, perhaps not everybody, but I would love to use this as a set of passenger goggles at mini quad racing. So you've got mini quad racing going on, you have one of these sitting in your box, someone says, wow, that looks really interesting. You say, here, put this on. And they put it on, and then they can switch between the channels and watch from the different pilots' perspectives. But this button here will only get you one channel, and it's whatever channel happens to be strongest at the time. So if you're trying to change between a number of different craft, well, it's not going to happen. It's going to be totally random. It may not happen at all. So you can't select your band or your channel manually. You've just got to take pot luck. It's like a Russian roulette. Push that button and the wheel spins around and it stops at whatever channel happens to be the strongest. And hopefully it's your one if you're using this yourself. So yeah, what a shame. If they just put another button on there, like the auto scan had frame as they call it and channel, and hold down the channel button, it does its auto scan, that would have been brilliant. But they didn't. As I said, this thing does some things really well. Other things, it's crap. And I think that's crap. But hey, it's probably not designed for that market. This is designed for the guy who wants to get into FPV, doesn't have a whole lot of money to spend, doesn't want to be farting around with the version 2 goggles and having to choose a receiver and having to plug all those wires in and all that sort of crap. He just wants to take something out of the box, connect up a battery, even if it's one of those, and then go fly. And to that effect, this will work really, really, really well. You know, that's what it's designed for. That's what it does. I just think if they'd spent a couple more minutes, you know, in the design room, put their coffee down for a moment, stop eating the biscuits, and consulted a little, people would have said, yay, give us 2 buttons, because then we can use it as passenger goggles. Because I think people who can afford video glasses buy video glasses. These are great, but video glasses are still a better experience, because if you look at it, one of the problems, it's not, if you look at your eyes here, they have to cross to look at the screen. You actually have to have your eyes crossed, and that becomes fatiguing after a while. With video glasses, you're looking straight ahead, and that's not fatiguing. So I can wear my video glasses for extended periods, and I can fly 3-4 hours a day without any problems. If I wear these, my eyes get tired, and it doesn't matter which visor it is. It can be, you know, the version 1, the version 2, the head plays, or these. Because my eyes have to cross, they've got a narrow, close focal region there, it makes my eyes hurt, makes my brain hurt. So these aren't really suited for extended use. but they're great for passenger goggles, for giving to other people to have a look at what you're looking at, because they just put them up to their face, have a look. That's great, wonderful, couple of minutes. They're good as, happy as Larry. But this kills the passenger experience unless you are flying on your own. Shame, big shame. Never mind, that's just one of the little disadvantages of this. As I said, it's great at some things, it's crap at others. So now I'm going to run through my list of pros and cons, which I've covered some, but just to make sure I haven't missed anything, I wrote it down. Here we go. Let's look at the negatives first so we can leave on a positive comment. No AV connector. You can't use another receiver in here. You just have to use the internal receiver, and if you don't like that scan button way of selecting channels, well, it's tough cheese for you. The straps are going to perish. They're going to fail in the sunlight. And I noticed on mine, actually, the lack of adjustment was a pain in the backside, because if you look down here, actually one strap is longer than the other. I found that this top strap was flopped over the side of my head because this pouch at the back was too far around, because these were uneven length. And I could only just balance out the difference in length using the Velcro adjustment, the 10 mils on each side. So I'm not really fussed about the straps. Now the battery pouch, too small by far. As I mentioned, the scan button, that's not the way I want to choose to change my channels. And this focus range here, it's just still a little bit short for me. It's just not quite. Another 5mm, it'd be beauty, but it won't go 5mm more. That could just be my old eyes. And as I said, when it comes to battery power, I would much rather have seen an XT60 and a JST rather than this little bit of a joke they've given us here. Also, this may be important to some people, there's no audio. And because you can't use an external receiver, you can't rig audio. There's no audio in here. There's nowhere to plug in headphones or anything. But a lot of people don't use audio. I don't use audio, but some people do like it. And because they haven't included audio, they've cut those people out of the market for this. They've taken a product that could be a 99% product, they've made it an 85% product for the lack of a button and the lack of an audio connector. Well, that's their choice. But, those are the negatives. Let's look at the positives. The positives are, you can take this out of the box and you can be flying within a minute. You don't have to fart around plugging a whole lot of wires, and you don't have to fart around gluing halves of a thing together or clipping lenses into frames. It is just a turnkey product, and that's brilliant, because that's what a lot of people want. They don't want to be building stuff. They just want to buy and use stuff. That's excellent. Lightweight. This is actually over 100 grams lighter than the version 2. 100 grams. That's quite a bit when it's hanging off the front of your face. Picture quality is excellent. It's just exactly the same as the version 2 as far as I can tell, which is excellent. It's the field of view is great. It's immersive. No problems there. The optics, this limited focal range notwithstanding, it is a very, very good picture. Doesn't blue screen, really, really good. The lack of an on-screen display to show you the channel is a pain in the ass. I wish they had put that in, but they didn't. What else we got here? It's durable. Look, it's plastic. You'll be able to drop this and go out in the rain, and you won't have to worry too much about it. It's a durable piece of kit, and that's very, very good. It's tidy and clean. There aren't wires dangling off the bottom and bits hanging out here and there. It's all nicely wrapped up into this little setup here. Very, very clean. Put it on your head. Nothing else to worry about. It's really a good fit on your face. Face fits good. It's excellent. Much better than the version 2. This fits most faces straight out of the box. That's a bonus. And the voltage operating range goes right down to 5.8 volts before the picture goes out. That's also brilliant. But it would have been nice to have an onboard battery alert so it beeped before you got there, so you didn't suddenly find you'd forgotten that you were using one of these crap-ass little alkaline batteries which only last 20 minutes, or because you're forced to use a tiny LiPo, it goes flat, even in one long flight. It'd be nice to have a battery alarm. You can, of course, plug a battery alarm into your balance port, but then it's starting to get bodgy again. You're having bits hanging off. Build it in. It would be great. So there you go. That is it. That's basically it. I'm going to go and do some flying with it. Just looking through the thing, it looks great. I'm going to do some flying with it. I've got a follow-up video to tell you what I think of it after I have spent an hour or two flying with it. But I'm sure it'll be just as good as, maybe even better than the version 2 video visor in terms of the comfort and the ease of use and the results you get out of it. So there you go. That's my on-the-bench review of the HobbyKing Quanum Cyclops FPV goggle. Perhaps not as flattering as some of the reviews will be, and I don't know what the price is because I got this before it was released. This product was provided for review by HobbyKing, and so I have no idea what the price is going to be, but let me take a ballpark figure. I think this should be probably priced under 120 bucks. Probably because it's got a receiver, remember, and it's nicely put together. I would like to see this priced at about 85 bucks. 85 bucks US would be a reasonable price. If it's cheaper than that, excellent. If it's more expensive than that, well, just weigh up the cost, and it's up to you as a consumer to decide if it's value. So there you go. Thanks for watching. In the meantime, I will clear my bench, get on with more stuff. If you've got questions, comments, put them in the usual place. In the meantime, oops, I nearly forgot. By the way, HobbyKing have given the people who get these pre-release products for review, they give each one a different link so that they can track the traffic that comes to their website from the video reviews. Now, obviously they've given me one, and what I'd like you to do, if you want to see more about the product, go to the product page, find out what the price is, etc. Then please click on the link. I'll put one down here with an annotation if you've got annotations turned on, so you can click on that link, or you can go to the description on this video and click on the link there. That way they know that you came from this video. And the whole idea there is that if enough people go and look at the product page, enough people buy the product, I don't get any kickbacks, as no money comes back to me, but it does mean they're probably going to be more inclined to send me more products to review so that I can tell you what's good about them and what's crap about them. There you go, it's up to you. Thanks for watching. Gotta go. Bye for now.